I hope he keeps like this whole little thing. He's like, oh, nice.
I had something on my lip, man. Anyways, I was going to ask you, how are you doing?
I'm good. My knee's feeling better.
You got your breath caught?
Oh, yeah.
You don't need CPR?
Not from you. Hell no. I'm adamantly denying CPR from you. Thanks for the offer, but I'll take my chances upstairs.
Yeah.
Or down below. I mean, whatever happens.
Well, hey, this is exciting news, though, that for our studio is going to be...
We're moving.
Yeah, we're moving. We're moving. Hopefully on our YouTube...
10 vertical feet.
Well,
Not
true.
even.
We're going to be going to the basement here, but we're going to take and use a bunch of stuff we were able to salvage, and I think we're going to be able to make a pretty cool studio.
I'm excited.
Pretty quickly. I think within a couple of weeks we're going to have a working studio that is a little bit less than, say, a kitchen table here, which is technically, our intro says the Thin Line Off-Road Studio, but right here, my computer... From this kitchen table right here is literally where I operate 99% of Thin Line Off-Road, so we're not lying. I mean, this is the Thin...
It's the office, not the studio, though.
Okay, true. This is the Thin Line Off-Road office, but we record here, too, studio. But our studio is going to be upgraded.
I mean, we're really kind of downgrading. We're going down 10 feet.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
If we want to get technical here.
Let's talk about some truck stuff today.
Do we have to?
Well, I mean, that's the name of the show, Wheelin.
So we got to talk about wheels.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, fine.
It's time to hit the trail, lock in those hubs, and throw it into low range. Because you are listening to Wheelin' with Keith and Johnny Orange, broadcasting from the Thin Line Off-Road Studio. They're here to talk about 4x4s, trucks, and everything to do with enjoying the great outdoors. Buckle up. Here's your hosts, Keith and Johnny Orange.
So I got a question for you.
Okay.
Did you see the link I posted on 4x4 Talk? I finally found a Toyota that I'm 100% on board with getting.
I saw it, but I'm trying to remember. Hang on. Oh, the
4BT
swap. The diesel-powered Prius.
Yeah,
I like that. That was pretty good.
I could probably not fit in it, but I would drive that.
Oh, yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, for sure. That was pretty cool. I mean,
I would take full advantage of all those green parking spaces, too, and I'd roast it. I'd probably blow through more diesel in that thing just smoking out just because I could.
I mean, it looked like an amazing build.
Oh, my God. That was incredible.
Swap a Cummins diesel into a Prius.
If you look at the one scene in there, or one part, they're moving the camera past the front. There is no dashboard whatsoever in that thing.
No.
I'd be all right with it. As long as I can get a radio, I'm okay.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me about I don't know if you've seen it. Somebody... It's a page, and I need to like the page or something on Facebook. It's something along the lines of inappropriate nose swaps, and so people Photoshop the wrong front end onto cars, and somebody did a classic 80 series Toyota Land Cruiser with a Prius front end on it. It's so horrible. But I mean,
when you find that page, let me know. I'm curious to see that now.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that and I was like, oh, it's so bad looking, so
nice.
Bad. Well, we're on episode 45 now.
Indeed.
Yeah, we were talking about what we were going to do for episode 45. Playing on numbers. Could you come up with anything that was big on for 45?
I mean, I think it was the speed of records at some point in time.
It was.
I didn't even think about that.
RPMs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's talk about that. Now, this isn't particularly an off-road thing, but it's a history thing. Have you ever seen a 45 player for a car?
No, I know they exist. I've heard of them. I've never actually seen one in person, though.
Okay, yeah, I've seen one at a car show before, and then somebody on one of the car pages I was on the other day posted pictures of two different styles that were available.
Nice.
And I guess one, like the needle was spring loaded and it would just gouge the heck out of your records.
Oh, I believe it.
Some people said even if you hit a big bump, it would put the needle through the record.
I still, and I'll find a way to do it if I can. It would have to be I'll say, quote unquote, Jeep conglomerate branded player.
Okay.
But I want to put an 8-track player in the Commando.
Oh, yeah, why not?
That would be cool.
I had one in my 56 Chevy.
Nice.
And back when, in the 90s when everybody was into car audio, I went kind of the nerdy side of it. And I had taken and put a CD player. I was one of the first kids in our high school to have a CD player. I put a CD player in my 56 Chevy. Then I took and I had a converter that plugged in. I don't remember exactly how it did it, but it was a tape deck converter. So if you opened the glove box,
dude,
I also had a tape deck player in there and an 8-track player.
That is awesome.
So you could play CDs, tapes, and 8-tracks.
I want that. Never mind. I want that.
You want that?
I want 8-track and tapes and AM, FM.
There you go.
I don't even remember the radio in it's AM, FM. It might only be AM. I can't remember. There's some company, I never got the name of it. It's just one of those, somebody told me about this company at one point in time. They'll take the old AM radios. They can change the guts out. So everything, it'll mount the same, install the same, run the same, but it's AM and FM.
Oh, yeah, no. In fact, there's a bunch of antique car places that do that. And then what they do is
I didn't know this was that big of a thing.
Yeah. They'll put the modern guts in it, so they get rid of the tubes and everything. And then some of them, there's some that are so popular that they just make the radios all new, but they look like the old ones.
That's cool.
But some of them, for the ones where they will reconvert them for you, they'll take and they'll etch in the back of the glass, so it's almost like ghosted the FM stations.
Nice.
So when you're looking at it in real glance, it just looks like the AM stations.
Yeah.
But then you go and you go to dial it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. There's a lot of cool technology they can do with
I
that.
definitely want to do something with that type of, I don't want to use the word retro look to it, but with that old school look like that.
Did you see that? I think I shared it on maybe 4x4 Talk or something. Did you see the 51, 52 Chevy that the people were overlanding in? Pickup truck?
I don't remember.
Had the camper in the back of it. It's exactly like
Vaguely.
what I would love to do with my 53 pickup. And that has a radio that is curved on the dashboard. It's got a weird one, and they're like $500 for. They're not cheap, but I would love to, because mine's got the factory radio delete plate in there, but I'd like to have a radio in it. So to get one of those someday.
That'd be cool.
I mean, obviously, right now, most of my listening. In fact, the radio doesn't even work in Project Excursion anymore. It hasn't worked it worked once yesterday for 2 hours.
Nice.
But so I just listen to earbuds, through the podcasts I listen to, and then occasionally music and other shows I listen to.
I'm happy on the note of functioning radios. My radio completely works again, better than it did before in Pegasus.
Nice.
And as of today marks 3 days on the road of driving it without issues so far.
Yeah.
Whatever else I can cross.
Knock on wood there. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I've experienced it a couple times. It's a weird little squeal. It sounds like a belt squeal.
Okay.
Can't figure out what it is.
Well,
it's happened and it goes away.
I think I got thinking about that. I think I know what that is. Well, you said that the one time when you took it out, there was some walnuts or something jammed in the top.
Yeah, I found it was next to the starter. I didn't know if it came out of the bell housing or not.
The squeal's probably the squirrel that's stuck in there.
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Oh,
No, the other day I heard it 3 times on the way home from my buddy's house. Once yesterday and once today.
gotcha.
So it's not completely gone. It's getting quieter, whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just something breaking in or wearing in a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I checked all the oil levels on everything. Belts are tight. So I have no idea what it is.
But it's running good, shifting good, stays in gear. No
I'm still
grinding,
nervous
no-
when I'm shifting it that I'm going to hear that noise, but I'm getting less and less nervous, every time I'm driving it.
It is amazing sometimes when you put something or you do a major change to your rig or your vehicle and how different it rides, drives.
Oh my God, I've got a stock clutch in it now.
Yeah.
Technically used, but I don't even think the thing had 10 miles on it.
Okay.
It was out of that one that you went with me to get down by, I don't even remember where that was, Wyandotte or whatever.
Okay.
And I threw that in. It was the best one I had. and it's like a completely different Jeep.
Yeah.
I mean, I swear it's driving better with that.
Oh, it could be. Could be.
I full well believe it. You know, I'm wondering how much performance loss I actually had running that performance clutch. And I'm wondering, too, if maybe that wasn't a little more worn out than I thought.
That's always a possibility.
Is this, I mean, it's driving way better.
Yeah.
And I can't explain it.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm
not complaining. It's awesome.
glad to hear she's on the road.
Yeah, I am too. The only issue I did run into when I was putting the cable back on for the transfer case shifter, I've got to readjust it. Something shifted just enough when I, disassembly, reassembly. I've got to readjust it. So I thought that might be where the noise was coming from, so I just disconnected it for now. Just a little quick link. So everything's there. I mean, if I had to get 4x4, I'd just have to, do it manually.
Yeah.
Which not that big a deal. If I have to, I have to.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's running, it's driving, it's stopping. My radio works, the heat works.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She hates the cold with a passion.
That motor just worn out.
I need to adjust the valves. That's probably the biggest thing. I don't know.
So?
I have no idea when they were last done.
Okay.
I've driven it over the service interval to do them.
That is adjustable valves.
Yes.
Ew.
Supposed to do them like every 15,000 miles, I think,
Yeah.
for the FSM. I've driven a lot more than that, so I know they need adjusting.
For our listeners that are not that familiar with Pegasus project here, it's a Jeep TJ, but it does not have a 4-liter in it anymore. It has a OM617 5-cylinder Mercedes diesel.
Yeah, 3-liter.
Yeah, three. I said 5-cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-liter.
Yep. I dropped a liter and a cylinder.
Which, speaking of that, and this is not an episode about that, although we should do one of those in the future someday. Oh, that's all right. We should do an episode in the future. Did you see on the museum page that it's the anniversary of the Mercedes diesel?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Or was that the one you posted about the Unimog? Or is that a different one?
Yes, I think so. Yes,
I read through that.
Yeah,
briefly.
It was an anniversary. It was a couple days ago that it was, or maybe it wasn't the Unimog one, but I don't have the exact date now on the top of my mind. It's kind of gone and passed. But last week was the anniversary of the introduction of the Mercedes diesel.
Oh,
and
I didn't
the Mercedes that was the first successful passenger car diesel engine.
Oh yeah,
and the roots of your engine go back to that original engine they did.
Yeah,
so
the roots to that one, like you said, they go back to what's his name in Germany.
Yeah.
I think your cat's getting in there.
What?
Yeah.
They're hungry. But anyways, on this episode, listeners, in case you have not figured out what we are talking about, we're kind of rambling around. We got a lot of things going on, but there is a bit of 4x4 news this week. We'd like to talk about some of that. I guess you just told us about Project Pegasus.
Yes.
I can tell you a little bit about Project Excursion before we go to break. Project Excursion, as you know, now has actual tires with tread on them. Mm-hmm. And
they're very nice.
I
like the wheels a lot.
I think I was mumbling about this 30 episodes ago.
Probably.
About having bald tires, but no, she did not get the 37s that it was planned for
Yet.
I do have another plan in my mind for going to larger tires eventually. I went to the same 285, 75, 16s that were on it. However, for the first time in my 4x4 daily driver life in at least almost a decade now, I don't have BFG all-terrains. I've been a BFG all-terrain guy for my daily drivers.
I didn't know you were one of them.
Yeah, well, I've had
they're great tires.
They are.
I'm not going to deny that.
I mean, I've had Swampers on the Land Cruiser. I had Pro Comps on the Land Cruiser. Trying to think what else I had on. Well, no, I mean, I did have on the F-250. I had Pro Comps for a little while, but they were on it when I got it, and then I went to some Federal Courageous that I had gotten like dirt cheap or something. Or no, I have that backwards. It had Federal Courageous on it when I got it, and then I got some used Pro Comps and threw it on there.
Nice.
But actually, purchasing tires, I've been going, or newer tires, I've been going with BFG all-terrains. Mm-hmm. Well, a friend of mine, Osvaldo, He has an excursion, and he happened to be over dealing with some other stuff that I was selling him, and he saw the 37 sitting there, and he's like, man, I really want to buy those. We ended up working out a deal where he gave me some cash plus the brand new Cooper Discoverers, I think they're called, or Adventurers. Cooper Adventurers.
I think they were Adventurers. Yeah.
Cooper Adventures, which Cooper is, I believe, the only tire company that makes all of their products in the United States still.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to the rep in a long time.
He had just bought these tires. They only have a little under 7,000 miles on them. They're like brand new. Plus, I got his wheels. We actually jacked up his excursion and my excursion right next to each other, and then we swapped all the wheels over.
I didn't know about that.
He has the bald all-terrains now, and I've got his aluminum wheels that have been painted kind of that gunmetal gray with the center caps.
It looks like a shot blast finish. They're really nice.
Yeah,
I like them.
I liked the fact that I got rid of some of the chrome.
I hate chrome with such a passion.
Back to what we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. That first day when I drove to work, I'm like, "Where's my all-terrain hum?" I mean, these are an all-terrain tire, but they don't hum like the BFGs, or at least like worn-out BFGs with 100,000 miles on them.
Yeah,
and no wobble, no nothing. And but now I'm like, is my front end okay? Like,
I've been asking myself those questions for 3 days because it's been longer than I thought I really care to admit or figure out since I've been able to drive Pegasus.
Yeah.
So it's all these noises. I'm like, I can't remember if that was normal or not. Most of the answer to that is yes. Yeah. Still, it's like, all right, I don't remember. No, I think that's normal. Exactly. I mean, I'm starting to remember now on day 3 here. Mm-hmm. So I still, I'm about halfway through this tank of fuel. I got to finish this out and one more, and then I'm going to change that oil and pray to God and any maker anywhere that there's no big chunks or teeth on the magnet.
Let's hope, man.
Oh, I'm going to be pissed. That will not be a good day.
Well, let's hope. Yeah. Well, we've covered our personal stuff. Why don't we talk about some of our national 4x4 news when we come back?
Sounds good. See you in a bit.
Hey, it sounds like it's time to swap out that old engine for something better, John.
Yeah, man, but I have so much into my trans and transfer case set up already. I don't want to change those too.
Sounds like you need to call Quick Draw Brand Adapters. They specialize in conversion bell housings for nearly all diesel and gasoline engines, including the new 2.8R Cummins.
You know, I like weird engines. I want something different.
Then you definitely need to visit QuickDrawBrand.com today. They have those hard-to-find parts. They also have used diesel engines available. You can call them at 513-446-9654.
Cool, I'll do that. See what they have. Thanks.
So I gotta say, John, that was the most politics we've ever covered on a break.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know anything about that particular individual, and now I know more than I care to.
What?
I thought we were making a political joke here.
I was talking about the cat politics.
Oh.
Yeah,
we'll ignore the rest
we're apparently out of cat food at the Thin Line Off-Road Studio, and we have 4 cats. Yes, we're cat hoarders.
Yeah, you don't have 4. You got like 8.
Yeah, well, I know.
I swear.
They just seem to be everywhere all the time. And they were actually causing problems during the last part of the podcast. We could hear, you might have even heard them hissing in the background, and they're all fighting. So we need to go get some cat food for them. In the meantime, they are eating some Swedish meatballs. But there was definitely some politics of...
I told you how to solve the problem. Just don't feed them. They're going to fight. You know, the loser will be eaten by the rest of them, and then you're good for a couple days.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not really... They're all kind of scrappy. I'm not sure who would win.
That cross-eyed one.
The cross-eyed one?
Crazy color cross-eyed cat.
The Siamese?
Yeah.
She'd win?
You ever see those things?
She's the most docile of them all, though.
That's what they want you to think.
Oh, that's
weren't we discussing this last night?
Okay.
The feral cat domesticated thing.
True. Yeah, they're not domesticated. They just live. No. They choose to live with us.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, they allow us to live with them. You mean?
Mm-hmm. All right. Enough talk about cats. So in 4x4 or automotive news, we got a number of things.
I've got one. I remember.
You
I kept forgetting it, and I remembered it. I don't think it's quite 4-wheel related. There's 4 wheels on it. starting in 2021, the DeLorean's coming back.
Yeah.
An approximate estimation.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
Yeah.
The DeLorean Motor Company out of Texas has purchased the... I thought we talked about this before.
We may have briefly, now that I say it out loud.
They purchased the remaining stock of DeLorean parts years ago.
The guy went through, he bought everything he could find that was original, bought all the rights, blueprints, everything.
I think from what I read, it said that he has enough parts to completely build about 700 cars with 95% original new old stock.
I believe it.
And the rest of it would have to be fabricated, made. But
the article I read said they figured that initial release is going to be around 400 vehicles. It's the same but updated. And then they're looking at an initial purchase cost of around $100,000.
Well, considering right now the current price of either a restored or a very well maintained DeLorean is up around that 50 range.
Oh yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of DeLoreans is so they made a little over 8,000 of them, so they're not that rare.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, when they were selling them for about half price of new, purchased them, and garage kept them thinking that they were going to be worth a fortune in the future.
Yeah.
And they really, they appreciated quite a bit over the purchase price, but they're not.
What gave the credit to them anyways was Back to the Future.
Yeah, they were almost
had it not been
unknown.
For that, they'd probably be nothing.
People be thinking of like a Fiero or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just look at for the museums. Yesterday we had the history of the release. Or it was I guess it would be 11 years since the release of the H3T Hummer truck, and they didn't even make 3,000 of those.
Really?
Yeah. And people are thinking that those are going to be a collector item in the future, but
please God no.
I
don't like them.
Think about
those
it. They made
H2s.
They made less of those than they made DeLoreans. So.
Huh? Maybe in the future.
So we'll see, but
something like a Mad Max movie or something.
Well, keeping on that GM news section there. Did you read that GM is killing off Holden?
I did not.
Do you know what Holden is?
No. Someone was supposed to send me a reminder to read about that.
God. Okay, so Holden is... It's a very old, and we could do a Holden episode someday, although they don't really have a ton of off-road history. They did a little bit, but Holden Holdings, I think is what they were called, which is kind of weird, started 1847, and I don't know what they made prior to getting into the automobile business,
Carriages.
But possibly, but they were Australia, New Zealand.
Okay.
And so... And then they would export to the Philippines and Thailand and all up and down and things like that. Every place is kind of close out that way. Well, Holden was making their own cars, and then at some point, and I don't know the full history of it, GM came in and purchased Holden and continued to keep them as a brand over there, specifically, for that market. There was a little bit of crossover where Holden produced what became the last generation Pontiac GTO for the U.S. market.
Okay,
that's actually a Holden vehicle that's been rebadged.
Nice.
GM also. I'm trying to think of another. The last generation of the Chevy Caprice, which was law enforcement only, which I think ran up to 2012 or 13, was a Holden vehicle that was brought over here. So Holden has a lot of history with muscle cars, and they build the Holden Monero, which is like a El Camino type vehicle. Went all the way through. Well, Holden, GM just decided, as GM has been doing for the last 20 years, just to axe the brand entirely. They'd been taking a lot of their products, such as the Trailblazer and other vehicles, and rebranding them as Holdens for over there. And there has not been a lot of products that Holden made that was specifically their own vehicle anymore. It was just a lot of rebranded crap.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, the name is even going away now. So
that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's just a lot of history there. When a car company's been in business for over 100 years, it's just sad.
Yeah.
But so that's from the GM side of things. Chrysler on the other end. And you know where I'm going with this.
We discussed a few things.
The Gladiator has been in the news a lot this last week. A lot. Now, I don't know. You want to start with kind of the funny, or do you want to start with the bad of it? Because we've got both.
I have a different note on it.
You have another note.
It's not so much on the Gladiator. I don't think it was a Gladiator.
Okay.
The Bill Murray one.
Okay.
Was that a Gladiator?
Yeah, that's a Gladiator. Yeah.
I've only seen part of that commercial. I didn't watch any of the commercials from that day.
Well, that was part of what I was going to talk about too.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Yeah. It's for sale in Carroll, Michigan. The one from the commercial.
Yeah.
And my dad was actually telling me about that before we discussed it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was still full of fur from the
groundhog.
Yeah, that groundhog. I almost said
Woodchuck
the beaver.
groundhog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're asking $54,000 for it. It is a Rubicon Gladiator, bright red Rubicon Gladiator. They used 2 for the commercial. The one that's in Caro is the one that had all of the interior driving scenes that did have the groundhog in it.
Nice.
The other one did not have the groundhog in it.
I didn't know there were 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
I read the article on it. And
Nice.
so it's for sale in Carroll, Michigan. Because now it's technically a used vehicle for approximately like $10,000 under MSRP.
Yeah. There's one thing I remember, or my dad said they were saying about it, is they're not doing it to make a profit.
No.
Like, they're not bumping it up because of that. They're just selling it as that.
They're selling it as a used truck.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's kind of cool.
It is. I'd love to have it in the museum.
That would be sweet.
But
I'm going to drive that if we get that thing.
I mean, it'd be a really neat vehicle to have there.
Oh, yeah.
But, maybe that kind of rolls into... Although, before we even go to that, they even said they've had people come by just to take pictures with it.
I believe
it's become a kind of a celebrity thing.
Yeah.
And the reason that it was in the commercial was when they went to go film the commercial, they couldn't find enough of those trucks they needed 2 that were identical. And so it was a last minute thing. It was essentially borrowed from the dealer lot. And
nice.
That's what happened. But, like we said, they're asking $54,000 for it.
Reasonable.
And that kind of goes into
if that hasn't sold, I'd be surprised.
True, but that kind of goes into the next part of the news.
Yeah.
Fiat Chrysler has announced that Gladiator sales have been dismal, or not necessarily dismal, but they have not been
below expectations.
Yeah, they projected sales on it, and I don't have the sales.
I totally believe that.
I don't have the sales numbers in front of me, but they're not selling like they thought they would sell.
I totally believe it. I mean, it's a big price point for I hate to say it this way.
Not even a half-ton truck.
Toy truck.
A toy truck, yeah.
I hate to say it that way, but, you put that side by side to I don't think they're called K1500s anymore, but, 1500 series. Yeah, you put that next to a, base series Silverado. I mean, can it move stuff? Sure. As well as those? No.
Yeah.
It's a toy. It's...
Well, yeah,
I still want one.
By comparison, the same manufacturer, the Ram Tradesman, which is the base model Dodge Ram, 1500 Ram Tradesman, MSRP $26,000.
Really?
The base model, like vinyl interior base model. It's the cheapest truck you can buy today.
I didn't know that, actually.
A couple of options. It gets up to about that 30-31 range.
Yeah.
You're still, you're just a little over half price of the Gladiator.
I never realized there's that big of a difference. I've never priced out a new vehicle myself.
Well, that's what people are saying. And then might have been one of the forums I'm in or something. I don't even remember now. This week's gone by like a flash. But somebody had said it is priced out. The main competitor currently to the Gladiator is the Toyota Tacoma. And they were saying you can do a fully loaded Toyota Tacoma with like all the bells and whistles, the off-road package and everything for still like $15,000 under what you can get a similar Rubicon Gladiator for.
Jeez.
And so they've priced themselves, and the Tacoma has more of a carrying capacity and a tow rating. So, man, what's going on here? Like Jeep, I love the look of the Gladiator.
Oh God, I do too.
I think it's a great looking vehicle. Yeah. I think it has a lot of potential. Is this a price gouging thing? Is this we've put so much money into it. We've got to get this much back. What's going on? Why is it so expensive?
Yeah, I don't know on that. I know they're coming out with the diesel. Was it this year or next year or something? I think it's next model year. So this year we'll start seeing them hopefully. And I mean, even that I know is.
Well, let's add another $10,000 to the price now for the diesel.
That's what I was gonna say. You're adding a lot more to the price for that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If I had that kind of money, I'd get one.
and I believe an announcement I read is that the diesel will not be available with a manual.
Yeah, and about that,
You're not too happy about that?
Well, no, that's a given. But if I were to be spending the kind of money for that, I'm going to spend the extra and make it happen. I don't care if I got to buy the parts from the dealer and install them myself. I'm getting me a manual trans diesel Gladiator. At some point in time, I'll buy it or I'll build it. I mean, I'd rather build it, but it'd be a lot easier and quicker to just buy it.
Well,
which honestly, that amazes me, being based off the Wrangler line, that they don't have a manual option in that. That blows me away.
And maybe we can talk Chad over at Quick Draw into building some parts for that.
Actually, you know what? I wonder if it's that 2.8 diesel.
Well, pardon me. Right now, what he's doing is he's actually working on diesel swaps for the 2.8 GM diesel. They're similar architecture between them, but they're not the same engine.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, well, so the GM Duramax is the 2.8 one that get in the van and stuff.
Okay.
And in the Silverado truck,
nice,
I believe. But he's working on some stuff for that.
Nice.
It's not a secret. He put it on his Instagram just a little while ago. So, but I don't know, man. That price thing with the Gladiator scale. Now, the last thing that, man, I don't even know how this happens.
Uh-oh.
You know where I'm going with it, right?
I don't know right now, and I'm starting to get scared. What's happening? What's going on?
The Gladiator at the Chicago Auto Show.
Mm-hmm.
They had an indoor course, indoor off-road course to display to the people coming to the show. The Gladiator got stuck on its own indoor off-road course that was designed for the Gladiator.
That is absolutely hilarious, and obviously a result of very poor planning.
Oh. I don't know. I've only seen parts of the video.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be high-centered.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And which there was a number of people that when the Gladiator was coming out that said this thing's too long, it's not for off-roading, and they might have proved their point.
Yeah,
people were saying that this should come from the factory with 37s on it.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because 37s are the new 35 or new 33.
Yep.
Why not put 37s on it from the factory, lift it up a little bit?
That would be sweet.
I could see. In fact, I could see that. If you're going to buy something that's a $60,000 truck, which, by the way, I'm not spending $60,000 on a new vehicle anytime soon.
If I'm doing anything close to that, it's going to be that Cybertruck.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to remember. That was it like 76. It was either 69K or 76K, something like that.
Yeah.
Was for like the fully loaded tri-motor option.
Yeah.
But anyways, back on point.
But yeah, but you're talking with this Gladiator now. You're spending all that kind of money now. People will spend on a brand new vehicle, or if you're an enthusiast, they might spend an extra $10,000 or $15,000 on wheels, tires, lift kit.
Yeah.
Maybe some bumpers, things like that. If they made the Gladiator at that $60,000 price point with a factory lift kit, factory big tires, it's not going to cost Fiat Chrysler another $10,000 to do that.
Oh, no.
You're talking taller springs, maybe a little bit different work suspension, a little bit more rubber, throw a winch on it, Well,
the winch I could see being an option still.
An option,
but
yeah.
I mean, even building it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, would there be some change in production cost? Absolutely. But if you can, the markup on that stuff's so big anyways, they've got room to work.
Now, by all means, I'm no Fiat Chrysler exec but I remember reading when they were hinting about the Jeep truck coming out that their idea was to essentially replace what the old S10 and Ranger and Dakota were. Mm-hmm. A simple pickup truck that you could get with your manual if you wanted, but simple truck that people could use, commuter truck. Mm-hmm. That was the idea for the Gladiator.
Yeah, not at that price point.
What happened? Yeah, I mean, you could buy a new S10, well, not quite 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. 14 years ago, you could buy a brand new S10 for 16 grand, 18 grand. Of course, time value of money, it'd be more today.
I get such a hard time seeing some of these prices on vehicles like that, but I've always had or been around used.
Yeah.
I've been in new, but God, they're so expensive.
Well, and what's funny about that is, people buy new vehicles. Mm-hmm. And they think that, okay, I'm getting a deal or value or this and that. I listen to that Dave Ramsey guy a lot, mm-hmm. and he said something multiple times on his podcast about new vehicles, and it didn't really click with me, but I actually looked it up, and he was 100% correct. Mathematically, you should never consider buying a brand new vehicle unless you have $1 million in net worth. And the reason behind that is when you drive a brand new vehicle off of the lot, it mm-hmm. loses about a quarter of its value.
Oh, yeah.
So figure you buy a $40,000 vehicle. Mm-hmm. You're driving it off the lot, and you're losing $10,000. Mm-hmm. Like that. Boom. You've just lost $10,000.
Yeah.
For you to be able to justify losing $10,000 like that, mm-hmm. you have to be at that $1 million price point.
Yeah, I believe it.
And that doesn't mean you have to have $1 million in the bank. It just mm-hmm. means your net worth. You paid for a home, all these other things, all your investments together, mm-hmm. $1 million. Because at $1 million, a $10,000 loss is only 1%.
Yeah.
You can lose 1% of your income. But, if your net worth is only $200,000, losing $10,000.
Yeah, significant.
Yeah, that's 5% of your net worth. It mathematically doesn't. I'd never thought about that before, but
yeah.
So no offense to our automotive producers out there that listen to this podcast, but
your stuff's too much, man. I'll say it.
we need to bring back the base model, enjoyable vehicles, yeah.
MFM radio and a heater.
Exactly.
Maybe AC if you insist upon it.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I love my AC. Don't get me wrong. I miss it so much. But, it doesn't have to be all this fancy crap all the time. Oh, my God.
Exactly.
It's cool and all, but good Lord.
I don't need in-dash screen. I don't
want touch screen. I don't want navigation.
Multiple zone climate control.
I want buttons and dials.
Yep, buttons,
dials, and levers.
That's perfect.
Yep.
That's perfect. Back to the Chicago Auto Show thing. They did.
Before we get into that, how about we take a quick break here?
Yeah, sure.
Because we're being pointed at.
I guess I'll deal with that
angrily. So we'll do that, get some more refreshments, and be right back.
Is your septic system ready for the spring rains and melting snow? Let the experts at ABC Home and Commercial Services inspect your tank and properly pump it. A little preventative maintenance goes a long way in avoiding a system failure. Call ABC Home and Commercial Services today at 810-794-5678 and they'll be on their way. A septic pump is as easy as ABC. ABC Home and Commercial Services, 810-794-5678. That's 810-794-5678.
So before you so rudely cut me off there.
I'm sorry, I thought we were at time.
Nah, it's all right. All I was going to say is at least at the Chicago Auto Show, the Gladiator got rescued by another Jeep. They threw a tow strap on it with another Jeep. They kind of made it
like a Toyota or something.
Oh, yeah. Or the guy from the Daewoo booth pulls over. The Kia.
Those little smart cars or something. That would have been great.
Oh, it really would have. It really would have. But,
man.
So we got a couple other things in the news. We do have a winner on your challenge on my tattoo.
I still don't remember who suggested. I thought it was you who suggested that.
It could be. But
I don't remember.
Mr. Steven Schulte, congratulations. You're going to be getting a thin line off-road. From what I understand, he messaged me, said 2XL. Going to try to get that out probably Saturday. Work's busy right now with a day job, but
it'll be on the way.
Yeah, it'll be on the way. We'll get that to you. I have been also thinking about Figuring out what we can do to get more people with the Wheelin audience. I was thinking about maybe doing a daily trivia or something. I'm not sure. I haven't quite figured this one out
So
yet.
I actually had a thought.
You had a thought?
I haven't talked to you or producer Andrew about this. I've talked to two other people. They both really like the idea.
How much is this going to cost me?
You nothing.
Oh, me? Okay,
No,
I'm
no.
all ears. I am all ears.
At most, I might need a little bit of time with the microphone. It's just something I'd be able to do after or before a show every week.
Okay, I'll unscrew one. You can take it with you. What do you need the microphone for?
So I've tossed up the idea. You've seen a lot of the cooking stuff that I've been doing and posting about lately. I've tossed up the idea of doing like a cooking with Johnny Orange thing. The problem is it's not going to be able to be video. It's going to have to be, like narrated pictures and steps kind of thing.
Oh, I mean,
I don't have someone else to hold the camera.
I have no problem with that. I think that's great.
It was a thought. I was going to see what everybody thinks.
No, I encourage it. I encourage it. If you want to do...
It'd be like, probably every other week or something like that.
Okay.
And it'd just be, something I'm cooking at home or something.
I mean, you can do like a gimmick like over in Europe and stuff where they have like the ladies do the topless cooking shows or something.
No, I don't want this to have to be on late night prime time.
You're not going to be doing something like that?
No. No, it'd be just something, at home.
Okay.
I mean, as you know, just about everything I do is with cast iron. That's something anybody can do anywhere. You can use it on any heat source. So kind of a multi-universal thing.
I only support this if you bring in the food that you make and we get to eat it.
It's possible. We could do some videos here at some point in time of it too, perhaps.
Do I need to set up a kitchen for you or something? Or?
No. I'd actually bring everything I need.
Okay.
I mean, I just need a counter and to use your stove, but oven would be about it.
I'm down.
It's just a thought. It's just something I've been snowballing for a while.
Okay.
And like I said, unfortunately, it would be like narrated pictures at first.
Okay.
And I mean, they'd move. It's not gonna be stagnant or anything like that.
No, I mean,
But it was
I'm
just
down.
a thought. Just something. I mean, what do you guys think? Let us know. Put it on 4x4 Talk or on the Johnny Orange page. Let me know what you
Comment on
think.
YouTube.
Or that, yeah. Wherever.
Leave us another thumbs down, whoever that was.
Speaking of, yeah, we had our first thumbs down on one of our. It was the last episode, Dana 44
the Dana
episode.
44 episode.
Yeah. I mean, the feedback's appreciated, but tell us why, please.
Yeah.
If you're still listening, I hope. I'm just curious.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible it was an accident. I'd love to know, what did they not like about it? Tell us. We'll fix it if we can.
But the show is not for everyone.
No, that's okay.
What amazes me is
We don't have more.
well, no, but I talk to people, and that are fans of the show.
Oh, yeah.
I run into them here and there.
Yeah.
And and I say to them, like, what do you even like about it? Like, you listen to us for an hour, and again and again, I get people say, and this actually just happened with Osvaldo the other day when he came over with his excursion. He was listening to one of our older episodes on Apple Podcasts on his way over. And he said, first of all, it was weird because it sounded like he was having a conversation with me, and then he got out of the vehicle.
I got to comment on that.
Well, hang on real quick. But guys that I've talked to, true car guys and gals, but mostly car guys, that listen to this show say that our format, the way we do things, it's educational, but at the same point, they feel like they are part of a conversation about a topic, and they like that. Like they feel, and I've heard from more than one person where they said they have like answered the radio, or they've talked back to it.
I got a quick note about that when you.
Well, I was just saying, that was good. I thought they were saying they talk back, and there's like they feel like, and that's one of the things where I eventually hope that we can bring on live callers and stuff because people want to talk to us. They want to converse with us about this. So go ahead, John.
I'm going to call my own mom out on Spotlight here.
Oh my God, you're talking about just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so a little different on the same note though. So she's had a few times. She said she's been listening to the show and thinks I'm right there, and she answers me or comments to
she's
me,
listening to you,
or to you, even thinking we're right there. Yeah. She likes it, and so not making fun of you here, Mom. We do the live shows periodically. This is not live, obviously.
No, Patty, this is live right now. You can answer John right now, no matter.
No, so they were watching an episode on Drive to Ohio or back from or whatever, and she was commenting on it. And then Keith goes, "And everybody have a Merry Christmas." And I said, "Everybody Happy New Year." And then they realized it was an old episode.
Yeah.
No, when we go live, we put it out there, what is it, a couple days or a week ahead of time. The next one's going to be live.
We try to, yeah.
Yeah, and when we do that, you can comment on the stream. Producer Andrew's sitting there at the computer ready to respond. Mm-hmm. And we go from there. We should do a live episode. We haven't done one in a while.
I've actually heard of a product through another show that I listen to, and apparently people create an account and they put it on this, and it's slipping from my mind right now, but I guess there's a constant like scrolling feed of comments, not like you'd have on Facebook or something like that. Man, I'm totally, I had it at the tip of my tongue there. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, it's that's what it is they listen and then they're part of it, and it's not like Patreon or something where they have to subscribe. I don't know, but if I think of it again, or if I think it in the after show, I'll mention it. But it's maybe something like that where we can do that.
That'd be interesting.
Okay, there's a good question for our listeners. And if you want to talk about it on 4x4 Talk, or if there's someplace else, reach out. Would you rather, comment on something, like online after the fact? But if you want to be part of the show itself, would you rather call in like so many other shows do? Or would you rather have a scrolling feed where you can comment, where you can type something, where you can text us?
That would be interesting, yeah.
What is the platform in this day of everybody texting all the time? And
I think that'd probably be more preferred. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah. Huh.
So I just wonder. Discord. It's called the Discord. That's what it is. You ever heard of the Discord?
Nope. So
you have a Discord channel. Producer Andrew can look into it. Producer Andrew's not even listening to us.
Okay.
He's waving. It's called a Discord channel, and apparently people can interact live with the show as they're listening. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's something that's going to add a lot more technology level to us, or
another app at least,
or what, you know. But and there you go. If you are a Wheelin listener and you listen to other shows that have a Discord channel, I'm just going to throw one out there. What you think? There's a prank call show I like to listen to sometimes called The Snowplow Show. The guy's pretty funny. I mean, he gets a little raw sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's pretty funny. He has a Discord. Apparently, a lot of people like it. So is there anybody out there that listens to a show that has a Discord channel that wants to do that with us?
Yeah. I've got one more comment to add here, being we're talking about producer Andrew.
Yeah.
No, it's a thank you. And you did a great job. We had a little technical error with last week's episode. We lost about 12 seconds of audio.
Yeah, we almost lost Project Excursion, too.
And he was able to recover it with some backup audio, do we call it? Backup audio. And did a great job with it. So, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Producer Andrew. You almost killed me. I'm driving home from work. I had been running loud machines all day, so my ears are already ringing. Okay, so I've got my earbuds in. I got a pair of wireless earbuds that I picked up at Lowe's of all places, because I had a Lowe's gift card, and these are like supposedly construction worker ones, and they're not too bad. But so I'm listening to these.
I got to see these. I didn't know there was such a grade of earphones.
Yeah, they're not really construction grade, but they work pretty good. I got them on the car. They were like $17. So I'm
nice.
So I've got these things, and I've got the volume probably cranked so I can, the ringing in my ears is. So I'm listening to the show because, like I've said before, I listened for quality control to our show once. I don't typically go back again ever and listen. Once in a while, I'll be like, oh, what did we say back then? And I'll listen to it. But for the most part, every show as it releases, I listen to it for quality control. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm going home, and I knew he was having problems with the audio thing. He didn't warn me where it was. He didn't tell me how at the time he had done it. And it's not that the audio is bad, but it goes so differently.
Yeah.
I just about jumped out of my seat, and I think it happened. I was driving down Gratiot. I was just about to get a 94, and I just about changed lanes. I mean, I was like, wow, what was that?
Sorry, but that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what I'm saying.
Nice.
I'm just really glad I didn't run over a pedestrian or whatever, but
nice.
No, he did. You're right. He did a really good job saving it. And because what he had told me when we were talking on the phone about it was that because of where he lost the audio, and we don't know what happened. It's just like lost.
Yeah.
Where we lost the audio, he would have had to remove like 3 or 4 minutes of conversation to make it seem right.
Jeez.
So it was better to keep the conversation in there, pull the audio off of the camcorder for the YouTube, and bump up the volume level. And so it does sound quite different for like 12 seconds. I do like, though, on the YouTube channel, what he put in there. So
trying to remember the exact wording right now.
He says something like, our audio's gone wheeling.
Yeah, wheeling on a softer trail. Was it? Yeah,
something
wheeling
like,
on a softer trail for a few minutes.
Something
or a few
like
seconds.
that. Yeah. So
that was awesome.
It was interesting, but
yeah. Always fun when working with electronics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of electronics, we are talking about for the show here now when we're going to be moving into our new studio. Do we go with lapel mics? Do we go with some sort of shotgun mic? We don't know yet. I don't know how many other podcasters listen to us. But if there's another podcaster out there that says, hey, I do this, and it works really good, besides what we're doing, if you see us on YouTube, I forgot what brand these things are, Behringer or something?
The mics?
Yeah,
AKG.
the mics. The KG?
AKG.
AKG.
Yeah.
And the sound quality's great on them, but...
Oh, yeah, they're phenomenal.
If there's something else we need to change up and...
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let us know.
And try, so...
Yeah.
Man, what else you got? This is, been a lot of talk about the Gladiator and some. I never thought we'd talk about radios this much.
Yeah.
Either. Speaking of your funny old radios, did you?
I got a 19 something.
Did you ever see that one I sold?
I don't know.
I had brand new in the box a AM/FM 8-track radio that had a built-in CB.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You told me about it.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I sold it.
That's what I
sold
need
it to
for
an
the
international
Commando.
scout guy.
Nice.
And I'm going to say he paid a pretty penny for that thing.
I believe it. That does not sound like a common item.
It's apparently a fairly rare radio. Guys are looking for them.
If you find another, let me know.
There was almost a bidding war on it when I got it. But yeah.
Nice. No, other than that, I'm excited. This weekend's forecast looking a little warm, so hoping to get out and get a little bit done on Project XJ at least. It's been longer than I care to admit that since I've been able to work on it. So I got a few. It's all paint stuff that's holding me back right now. Obviously, I missed the deadline for the chili run thing. So wasn't that this month?
It probably was. I don't even know. You're the same thing. I've been so slammed to work.
I don't feel bad anymore. You forgot to.
I did. I finally got the shop, the Thin Line Off-Road shop, cleared out enough where I can get the axle fixed on Project the Brat Pack.
Very nice.
But then we turned around and filled it with building supplies for the studio. So
yeah, that happens.
We're demoing out at work at our day job, a fairly large industrial building that had a mailroom in it. Mm-hmm. And the mailroom was full of...
Did they have a female room too, or just a mailroom?
Oh, several, yes.
Oh, okay.
And they had several nice cabinet areas and some doors that it's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
But, I was able to salvage enough material that I think we can probably put together something interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And, not that it's going to look great as, say, an off-road thing, but it'll be better than a kitchen. Although I like our kitchen table.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know it was a kitchen table.
Well, I mean...
It's supposed to be like an elegant, handmade wood... meeting table or conference table.
Technically, this is two what they call pub tables because we're on pub stools, and this was from a long forgotten.
This bartender sucks. I just got water.
Yeah, there you go. This is from a very long forgotten historic place that a lot of people haven't even heard of anymore, called Kmart. And
I remember that.
Yeah. And they are held together. If you reach underneath, they are held together with woodworking clamps.
Nice.
Big old wood.
I've been wondering why there's 2 sets of legs and it's one table.
Yeah, because it's 2 pub tables held together with a set of woodworking clamps.
Oh, so that's intentional then. Like
Yes.
you did it, it's not by design?
This is
Oh.
one table, this is one table.
Well, you couldn't line the stupid lines up before you clamped them, man?
No, they apparently don't line up.
Yeah, but
The outside edge lines up,
no, it doesn't.
doesn't it?
No, it's offset. Actually, even if you, that would make the alignment worse.
Exactly, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, these, HO in China pub tables are probably not the highest of quality. And, I mean, I can rip on them and say it's Kmart quality because they're long gone, too. But
Blue light special.
yeah, it was, yeah. Well, that was, I had these in my old house years ago.
Did you really?
I did.
remember this.
My ex-wife really wanted,
maybe I do.
she wanted our tables to be the height of the counter that we had because the previous owner had a dining room table that was there and it looked really goofy because it was lower. So she's like, no,
Yeah.
we need to have this the same height. And so she wanted these. We went to all these furniture places and nothing caught our eye. And we just happened to be a couple days later, we're at Kmart and we're walking through and we're like, seriously, they're like a blue light special, like $150 or something. So we bought
Was
them.
this 2 houses ago?
One.
Okay, I was gonna say the 2 houses ago. I remember it was like one of those old white metal ceramic like tables.
Yeah, that's at Foxfire Fixins now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
That's one of the things you sit down and eat at Foxfire Fixins
Nice.
restaurant. Well, fridge is down there too.
I remember that. No, I
Yeah.
remember the table a lot. That was cool.
Yeah. Wow. I am surrounded by my own personal history, and I'm not sure I like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got nothing to say.
Hey, it's not that this has any memories. It just literally it worked.
Yeah.
It looks good
Yeah.
here, so
Oh yeah, it is a nice table. Really.
worked out. But
Yeah.
I know some of the chairs are starting to lose screws and stuff. So,
Yeah, a little bit.
but
That's easy fixing.
well, man, it's been fun. I think we should go over to the Patreon. I think if you listen to the Wheelin show and you are interested in hearing us ramble on for yet another,
anywhere from 20 to
12 minutes to an hour. Yeah.
it varies.
So go to patreon.com, look up Wheelin with the apostrophe. You'll find us and subscribe. We really ask that you do that because at $2 a month is the lowest level. I mean, you don't get anything. Like $5 a month, you get some decals.
What do you mean they
and
don't
stuff.
get anything? They get all kinds of bonus content.
Oh, yeah. They get us.
Yeah, you're right. We should pay them. We should really pay them.
Yeah. But we'd love for you to do that. It does help to support the show. It helps to support. We were, like I said, we were able to
break it.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
know. We were able to salvage a bunch of material to be able to build the new studio, but we do have a need for some new mics.
Cables.
Cables.
We need cables.
And we're not sure exactly what we're going to do with some of the layout. We'd like to kind of get rid of this electronic mess in front of us, yet still have the same
Fine, you're
quality.
getting rid of that.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping that now. Same quality audio, so we've got some need for it, and if you want to support us, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, $2 a month. It's easy.
Yep. So, well, dude, let's go talk on Patreon.
Sounds good. Thanks for listening, and have a good one, everybody.